Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Judging from the comments I've read, a lot of you have been on your phones, playing games, Netflix and chill, but like most of us, we're just bored out of our minds. Well, starting today, you're going to get lessons from me. For English, you're going to get lessons every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sometimes you'll have videos to go along with it. Sometimes it'll just be Cornell notes or instructions. If you have me for history, you'll get a new lesson posted on Tuesdays and Thursdays. As far as those distance learning packets that the district is handing out, they're going to be weekly packets. So every week it's going to change. It's going to be different, but they're giving you all the way from Monday through Friday to pick it up. Now, if your parents are able to and they want you to go pick it up, please pick it up by Wednesday every week, because starting on Wednesday, we'll be working through the packet together. Okay, the packet is meant to be a review, and I still want you guys to learn, so I'm going to post new lessons for you guys as often as I can. All right, today's lesson is about figurative language. So right now, if you haven't already done so, I need you to click on the figurative language Cornell notes that I've attached to this Google Classroom assignment. Go ahead and click on it. Now, I want you to do it so that this screen and the notes are on the same screen. Do you get what I'm saying? Do it side by side if you can. If not, if you can minimize me and just hit play so you can listen as we read through the notes, that's the best way to do it. All right, we're going to get started. So figurative language. What is figurative language? Figurative language is when you use words or phrases without its literal meaning. So an example that's really popular is, it's raining cats and dogs. Cats and dogs aren't literally falling from the sky. It's just a way to say that it's raining a lot. It's pouring down hard. That's figurative language. Why do authors use figurative language? Well, authors use figurative language to help elicit emotions from us readers, help us form a mental image of what they're trying to say, add vivid details, and increase readers' interest. Now, figurative language is important because the more advanced reading that you read, the more figurative language will be in there. So I always want you to be able to comprehend what the author is trying to say. There are many types of figurative language, but for today, we're going to focus on similes, metaphors, alliterations, and hyperboles. All right, be prepared to follow along by underlining some things I want you to do. In a simile, two unlike things are compared. However, the words as or like are used in there. Let me give you an example. Gilberto ran as fast as lightning. This sentence is simply saying that Gilberto's a fast runner, right? Because lightning is fast. The two things being compared are Gilberto, lightning. And the key word here is as, okay? Now look at the next example I have for you. Ebony's eyes were as bright as diamonds. Please underline the two things being compared. And then right next to your notes, tell me what it means. What does someone's eyes being as bright as diamonds mean? And the next example for a simile is, Miss Nguyen is as blind as a bat. I am without context. Underline the two things being compared, and then tell me what it means to be as blind as a bat. All right, so for the first example, you should have underlined eyes and diamonds. Those are the two things being compared. And for the third example, you should have underlined Miss Nguyen and bat. All right, we're going to move on to metaphors. A metaphor is also a comparison of two unlike things. This should sound familiar because that's the same definition as similes. However, the difference between a simile and a metaphor is that in metaphors, you do a direct comparison. You don't use as or like. You just simply say something is something else. It's a direct comparison. For example, this assignment is a breeze. The sentence is saying the assignment is easy. That's what it means. And the two things being directly compared are assignment and breeze. Notice that there's no like or as. It's not saying this assignment is as easy as a breeze. No, it's directly saying that assignment is a breeze. Your next example you have is, Mr. Huff's classroom is a zoo. Please underline the two things that are being compared, and then tell me what that metaphor means. The next example you have is, Miss Nguyen is a chicken when it comes to horror movies. We all know this is true, right? I refuse to watch a scary movie. Please underline the two things being directly compared. For the second example, you should have underlined classroom and zoo. Those are the two things being compared, and it was simply just saying Mr. Huff's classroom was noisy. For the third example, you should have underlined Miss Nguyen and chicken, and the metaphor is simply saying Miss Nguyen is scared. All right, next, we have alliteration. Alliteration is pretty simple. Alliteration is the repetition of the same beginning letters or same sound. Now, alliteration can be as little as just 2 words or as much as a complete sentence. Here are some examples from you. She sells seashells by the seashore. What sound do you consistently hear? S. That was a whole sentence. Now, it can also be as simple as just 2 words, like Dunkin' Donuts. What sound do you hear? D, d, right? D. That's alliteration. Pretty simple, right? The last one that we're going to cover today is hyperbole. Hyperbole is something you guys do every day, because hyperboles are just figures of speech with obvious intentional exaggeration. Hyperboles are usually impossible in nature. For example, your brain is the size of a pea. This is just somebody calling another person dumb. That's essentially what it is. But it's a hyperbole because it's an obvious exaggeration, right? Our brains cannot physically be the size of a pea. So it's impossible in nature and it's exaggerating. That's a hyperbole. Another example is, I've got tons of money. Now, no matter how rich you are, that's an exaggeration, because do you know how much tons weigh? Does anyone really have enough money to weigh tons of money? Not likely. So again, that's an exaggeration. And the third example is something you may have heard someone say, I was so hungry I could eat a horse. That's them just saying that they're really hungry. True, but it's an obvious exaggeration and it's impossible to eat a horse. And kind of gross. Like, no one should think about that. So that's a hyperbole. Okay, let's review. We have similes and metaphors, which are comparisons of two unlike things, but in a simile, you use like or as, and a metaphor, you just directly say something is something else. Then we have alliteration, which is all about the beginning sounds. Words have the same beginning sounds repeatedly. And last, we have hyperbole, which is obvious exaggerations. Right? Those are the 4 types of figurative language we're going to learn today. So on your notes, there's a portion for you to write your summary. Write 2 or 3 sentences about what you've learned today. You should probably just go through and write an example for each of the 4 types of figurative language you've learned. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go back to Google Classroom. I'm clicking on it now. Click today's post, Quarantine and Learn. Get it? Kind of like Netflix and chill, but it's Quarantine and Learn. I know, clever. You're going to open up the assignment for Monday. I know some of you probably don't even know what day of the week it is. That's okay. I'm going to remind you. We are now on step number 5. So you're going to open and complete your assignment, which is titled Music Hunt Part 1. I'm opening it right now. Please follow along with me. All right, here are the directions. Find 2 different sets of song lyrics that include the following types of figurative language. Explain your answer. See my example below. So we've learned 4 types of figurative language today. Similes, metaphors, alliteration, and hyperbole. For each one, you're going to give me 2 examples of song lyrics that has those types of figurative language. Look at the first one. The first one was a metaphor, okay? I found it in the song Firework by Katy Perry. And the lyrics are, "'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth." And I want you to explain to me how it's a metaphor. So essentially, you're going to give me its definition. Look at my answer. This is a metaphor because a person is being directly compared to a firework. The artist is saying that everyone is a firework, unique and special. That's what she's trying to say from it. But she's just comparing 2 things, right? The person and a firework. You're going to do that for metaphor, simile, alliteration, and hyperbole. Before you ask, yes, the song lyrics need to be appropriate. No curse words, no profanity, nothing that's going to make me cringe. If you even have to think about if it's appropriate or not, don't do it. Okay? When you are done with this, I'm going to go back to our Google Classroom post. That was step number 5. Now, when you're done with this, I'm reading step number 6, which are your other assignments for today. You have MobyMax vocab for 30 minutes. You have MobyMax reading skills informational for 30 minutes. Now, I know you're groaning. I can hear your groans from here. But it's important that we continue reading and learning while we're under this quarantine. And then you also have some study island assignment. It's titled Quarantine and Learn with today's date, March 23rd. Okay? The accuracy that you need to pass is listed for you on our Google Classroom. If you don't remember your study island password, more than likely it is your username. Your username is your ID and your password is Peyton if you haven't already changed it. Now, if you can't log on, email me, send me a text through Remind, and I'll send you your individual usernames and passwords, okay? Also, I need you to pick up the distant learning packet. It's every day at school. They'll be passing it out from 7:30 to 8:30 or 11:30 to 12:30. Please try to pick it up today or tomorrow because starting Wednesday, which is the next time I'm going to post, we'll be going over some assignments, okay? All assignments are due tomorrow, Tuesday night by 11:59. Make sure you log back into our Google Classroom on Wednesday for the next lesson, which will be posted at 8:30 a.m. If you have any questions, guys, please send me a text through my app. Please comment on this post on Google Classroom. Please send me an email at hdnguyen@stocktonusd.net. Not .org like you usually share with me, but .net. That's my actual email. Okay? Well, good luck with everything, and I will see you soon.